No?
Not one drop.
Oh. Well, all the streets are flooded. I drove through Parkway Road from Off Camp Road on the Village Road, and the water was halfway at the door.
Yeah, I have family members out east who opted to stay to work for a bit because it's so bad.
Mm-hmm. And that plaza right there on Wolf Road and Village Road, cars couldn't even drive because some of them decided to cut through after they came through all of that mud.
Oh,
The cut through by Island Lock, them little passos and things, sitting in the water.
what a time.
Mm-hmm. I tell them, don't worry about it. You can call on your prime minister.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. If you can find him.
Just go to the airport.
Yeah, just go to the airport. As a matter of fact, ask the air traffic controllers. They may be able to tell you where he is. Anyhow, tonight's class is not that long. If you read chapter 3, I have the homeworks. Like I said, the light went off, so I was only able to download print 2 of them. So when we meet on Saturday, we'll go over the answers. We'll go over what you wrote, and then we'll go over what the answer should look like. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because some people are missing. I guess they may not have electricity. Oh, Deandra is on. Okay. So chapter 3 is about company and corporation. How many of you have done company and corporations?
I did one just yesterday.
Wonderful. So let you take the honor of giving them the process, which is quite simple, of how to incorporate a company.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I guess I'll call it my order. Check for the company name if it's available. In the event that it's not available, it might be a situation where you could request the registry to confirm if it's something similar. So you might want to do that before you do everything else. Once it is available, you pay to register the name. You only have like 3 weeks, and then you have to re-register. So it's best to have everything in order first. And then you have to have your documents together, your memorandum of association, and your articles of association. You have to have a certificate of compliance, and then you will go on to the website now, not doing it over the counter, put all the information in. It'll ask you for things that would be included in your M&As, like your share capital, what the par value is of each of the shares. Your subscribers have to sign on to those M&As. So you'll have to input the subscriber information, and you pay your fees and you wait for them to give it back.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it take?
Express is 1 hour, with the exception of yesterday. It took 24 hours. And then it's usually 3 to 5 days on a regular incorporation.
Because I know we were trying to reserve some names, and we were only able to start with one, and we couldn't put the other ones in.
Yeah, I had applied for good standings and had to send somebody there because we got charged, but no good standings were ever issued.
Mm-hmm. And the cost of the express?
It's an additional 450, or is it 400? I know that when you do the incorporation and you request certified copy of the M&A, certified copies of and then a certified copy of the certificate of incorporation along with the express, it's $930. So I remember the totals.
Okay, I think it's between 4 and 450. I can't remember myself, because I know sometimes when you're doing more than one at a time. So yeah, because most clients, when they come in now, especially if they using it for investments, for holdings, they don't incorporate one company. 4, 5, 6. Some people come and do 10 at a time. It's be a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's be a lot. All right. Anybody have any questions? on just the process? No? Everybody probably falling asleep in with this weather and it's supposedly cold front now. All right, so in the last class, the last two classes, we said there are two ways in which you can incorporate a company, either under the IBC Act or under the Companies Act. And you know, most in the trust, most of the companies, especially if you're using as a vehicle to do business, is an IBC. So in terms of incorporation, there are three documents, just like we just heard. You have the articles and the memorandum of association, and the registrar, once it's filed and you pay the requisite fees, you will get a certificate of incorporation. And from Solomon versus Solomon, you know that once you receive that certificate of incorporation, then that entity is an actual legal entity with a separate legal personality. So what exactly is the memorandum of association? And what's the purpose of it? Anybody knows? Because I know you always hear people talk about the M&A. So what's the memorandum?
I can just read it from the book.
Go ahead.
A document which contains the fundamental provisions of the company's constitution, specifically its official name, the type of company, registered office, name and address, objects, limitation.
Limitation of liability. Uh-oh. What happened, Melissa?
I'll finish it. Limitation of liability, capital, types and classes of shares, and subscribers' names.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on that, on the memorandum? You know, what is the registered office and address?
I would say the location of the company.
Mm-hmm. And that is usually who?
The registered agent.
Uh-huh. And that's normally an entity that is licensed by the Securities Commission. What are the objects? Anyone know what the objects are?
Would that be, could it be interchangeable to say that that's the purpose of the company?
Yes.
Okay.
And normally it says what? Whatever is legal in the jurisdiction.
Right.
Uh-huh. Of course, it has the types and classes of shares and the subscriber's name, the first two subscribers. Then you have the articles of association. And what the article association really, that is the document that assists the general manager, the directors and the officers as to how the company should be run. So it talks about the management of shares, it talks about the directors, appointment of directors, resignation of directors. It gives you procedures for the meetings. It tells you who can sign, when the seal can be used, if they have a seal, what's to be done during winding up. If there are shares, it speaks about if a member dies, what to be done. If a member resigns, what's supposed to be done. What if there is a transfer of shares? All of that is contained in the Articles of Association. So under the IBC Act, section 3 through 13, it talks about the fundamental provision of the constitution of a company. So the same listing that we just gave you can be found in the IBC Act. So section 3 says, subject to the requirements of the Act, 2 or more persons may subscribe to incorporate a company. And section 4 says, only persons licensed under the FCSP or another bank or trust company can incorporate the company. The liability of members of the company may, according to its memorandum, it be limited by shares, by guarantee, by shares and guarantee, or it can be unlimited. Now, in some instances, you'll have a memorandum where the members have a holding in the company. They have shares, but there is no physical dollar value. So what they do is, let's say if they have an existing operating company, and in that company, each family member has a certain percentage. So they would put that percentage holding as their shares in the company that they are incorporating. So the memorandum from IBC includes the following information: the name, the location of the registered office, the location in the Bahamas of the registered agent, the objects or the purpose, the currency in which the shares to be issued, and if it's limited by shares, then it says where it's limited by a par value or both by shares or by guarantee. A statement of the authorized share capital of the company setting out the aggregate par value of the shares that the company is authorized to issue. So where limited solely by shares without par value, the amount represented by such shares that the company is authorized to issue. And of course, where it's limited both by shares with par value and without par value, the total of the aggregate par value of an amount represented by such shares, respectively. If it is limited by guarantee, there's normally a statement that each member undertakes as to what they will contribute to the assets in the event that the company is wound up. And during that time, that person is a member or within the year afterwards for payment of any debt or any liabilities of the company. So in the case of a company limited by share and guarantee, the statements above in E and F would apply. In the case of an unlimited company, a statement that the liability of the members is unlimited. A statement of the number of classes and series of shares, the number of shares of each such class. So normally in these IBCs, they're very simple. They have a share capital, and in most instances, the beneficial owner, the director, and the officer are all the same person. So unless they are part of some large conglomerate of a business entity, and they have incorporated a group of companies in the Bahamas and other jurisdictions in the Caribbean with similar company structures like the IBC, then you would see the board and the officers being complemented by the senior management in the actual parent company of the group. So the memorandum should be subscribed by two persons, like we said before, in the presence of another person who will sign as the witness. The memorandum, when registered, binds the company and its members. The company and its members must observe the provisions of the memorandum. The full name of the company is in the first clause of the memorandum, and the name should have already been approved. Like we said, you go through the process where you reserve a name or you check the name first, and then you can put in the reservation for the name that you want. So only companies ending in limited or LTD or limited liability company or LLC, a corporation or a corp, or incorporated or Inc., Gesellschaft or GmbH, Sociedad Anónima, SA are allowed for IBCs. And of course, the name itself of the company can be a combination of words and numbers, or it can contain a dual name, which can include an English and a foreign name. The English name doesn't need to be translated or don't need to be a translation of the foreign name. But where a foreign name is used, the applicant for the name reservation and subsequently the company must provide the translation of the characters or the accents or any distinctive marks or scripts or symbols that are used in the foreign name. So if you go to the companies that own the buildings downtown, you would see when you go to the doors of those companies where the beneficial owners are from China, you'll see the names are actually written in Mandarin. The Articles of Association under the IBC Act, they say that the articles shall be subscribed by 2 persons in the presence of a witness, and they should be filed with the registrar on the same date as the filing of the Memorandum of Association. The articles, like we said, once they're registered, they bind the company and its members. The memo and arts are placed in a register and they're maintained by the registrar, known as the Register of IBCs. The certificate of compliance issued by legal counsel or just an attorney who is engaged in the formation of the company, or the registered agent named in the memo and arts as the registered agent. And remember, the registered agent is always an FCSP or it's an entity that's licensed under the Banks and Trust Companies Regulation Act. They must accompany the memo and arts in order for them to be registered by the registrar. The articles of association of both types of company include the following provisions: the shares and transmission of shares, the meetings, the voting rights and proxies, appointment, resignation, and removal of directors, the powers of directors, the management of the company, the seal, like I said earlier, the authentication of documents, accounts, indemnification, audit, and winding up. Now, the difference between the IBC Act and the CAC Act, when it comes to the Articles of Association, at the very back of the Companies Act, there is a schedule, and that gives you an example of what the Articles of Association can adopt, or what's similar to it. And normally what they do is they make changes to those that are in the schedule at the back of the Companies Act. So what are the main constitutive documents for an IBC? You have the Certificate of Incorporation, the Certificate of Compliance, the Memo and Arts. You have the Share Certificate Book, the Share Transfer Form. You have the Corporate Seal, if the company wishes one. You have the agreement between the client and the corporate director. You have the Register of Members, the Register of Directors and Officers, the Register of Mortgages and Charges, if it is applicable. You have the subscribers' minutes and the appointment of the first directors. And then you have the nominee agreement, if there is a nominee relationship, and the seal log. So we went through the requirements for the incorporation of an IBC. Now, what she gave was the process in terms of reserving the name, checking the name, paying the fees, how long it takes, and making sure that you have the shares. Another part to all of this is before you actually incorporate the company, you have to do your due diligence. And that due diligence is on the shareholders and the directors. And depending on who the shareholders are and the purpose for which the company is needed, then you need to get exchange control approval. And that could be if the company is going to hold real estate and that person, the holder, is a foreign person. We already said you have to provide the objective or purpose of the company. You have to provide the names of any intermediaries. Of course, that will be the bank or the law firm. And we already said you have to go through the process and upload the information and pay the requisite fees. So your checklist for when you're incorporating or post-incorporation is to reserve the company name, prepare the memo and arts, prepare your certificate of compliance, request your check for filing and for certified copies. Prepare your cover letter to the registrar. If it's necessary, you obtain your approvals from the central bank or from the NEC, the National Economic Council. The memorandum and articles along with the certificate of compliance. Again, you would have your share certificate once it's post incorporation and all the list of the documents that are there. Any questions? Yes, no? I hope you
Yes,
all
I
did.
have a question.
Go ahead.
In this process, just starting from the back with the checklist that you went through, when you talk about obtaining approval from BCD or who else would it be?
Exchange control and NEC.
An NEC.
Mhm.
What do you do before you get that approval? Do you still have to prepare everything as if you are doing the actual incorporation to submit to them, like M&As and all of that stuff? You have to
No,
submit
that
to
don't go,
them?
no. The person who, the actual individual,
Mm-hmm.
they would, the lawyer would put in an application for them to the NEC saying that this individual wants approval to purchase this land. So what the NEC is going to do is approve that person for that land. Now, once they get that approval, and they're going to exchange control now, to have it registered with exchange control, then they're going to send the due diligence for the individual along with the company that is being incorporated.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's the kind of like a check and balance along all of the gatekeepers.
Okay.
Anybody else?
One question for clarification. When, for the checklist for the post incorporation, the name will have already been reserved, right?
Yes,
Okay, all right, cool.
that's the very first step. See, when the person said they want to purchase a piece of property, or the person just says they want to incorporate a company for future use, the first thing they're going to tell the lawyer is, these are my proposed names, and this is the time frame I want the company to be incorporated. So that's the first step. So that's why you would go and check and see if the name is available. If the name is available, then you put in the reservation for the name. And they do come up with some funny names. Okay. So listen carefully. The members of a social club, they want to form a legal entity. There is no commercial risk, but they do not want too much disclosure of their affairs to be made to the public. What type of company should they form? Listen to the options. A company limited by guarantee, an unincorporated association, a private company limited by shares, or a private unlimited company. Give me the options again. Want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
Okay. The members of a social club wish to form a legal entity. There is no commercial risk, but they do not want too much disclosure of their affairs to the public. What type of company should they form? A company limited by guarantee, an unincorporated association, a private company limited by shares, or a private unlimited company.
I would guess company limited by guarantee.
An NPO?
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
They're just social.
Mm-hmm.
They'll pledge X amount in the event of winding up. So there wouldn't really be. Oh, well, actually, this brings up a question. Would there be a share register, like the equivalent of a share register that would have to be produced for that, even though that's not really filed anywhere public anyhow?
They won't have any shares.
So there's no like register of guarantees. That's just agreements that are kept.
Yeah. As they say,
Okay.
there's no commercial risk, but they do not want too much disclosure of their affairs to the public.
Yeah, I would go with that one.
A company limited by guarantee. Why not a private unlimited company?
Because then the liability is unlimited.
Yeah. So which one do you think would be better?
In my mind, I'm thinking that a guarantee puts like a definitive, if it goes belly up, this is all that you have to worry about, as long as everything was done appropriately during the
Mhm.
life of this company. But if you have unlimited liability, whatever happens, they
You
come
have-
and after you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next question. Let's see. To what extent is a member of a company limited by guarantee personally liable for the company's debts? To what extent is a member of a company which is limited by guarantee personally liable for the company's debts? One, he is personally liable for all the company's debts at any time, or he's personally liable for all the company's debts if the company is wound up. Three, he is personally liable. No, his personal liability is limited to the amount set out in the memorandum on winding up. Or his personal liability is limited to the amount set out in the memorandum at any time.
Third one.
Correct. The third one. Three friends own and are also directors of a limited company carrying on the family business. I repeat, three friends own and are also directors of a limited company carrying on the family business. They have it in mind to change the organization to an ordinary partnership. What aspect of the business would be affected if this change were carried out? What aspect of the business would be affected if this change were carried out? One, the right to sue in the business name. Two, the right to mortgage in the business assets. Three, the right of the partners to examine the firm's accounts. Or four, the ability to create a floating charge over the business assets. So they are a limited company carrying on a family business. They want to change to a partnership. What aspect of the business would be affected if they carried out the change? One, the right to sue in the business name. Two, the right to mortgage the business assets. Three, the right of the partners to examine the firm's accounts. And four, the ability to create a floating charge over the business assets.
Would it be all?
Let's go through all. In a partnership, does a partner have a right to sue in the business name, in the partnership name?
One person? So it,
Mm-hmm.
I say no, they all have to sue together,
Why?
because they lose that. I'm trying to think my brain through this.
Okay.
I guess I'm thinking in terms of, in a partnership, you aren't protected as an individual anymore.
Okay, so in a part, if we were to form a partnership now, I cannot bring a matter in the name of the partnership.
I would think that it had to be general consensus, but you could if everybody agreed to do it.
Okay. So what about the right to mortgage the business assets?
Wouldn't it be the same thing? Everybody would then have to agree, like if I'm in a partnership, I can't do it singly.
Mm-hmm. And the right of the partners to examine the firm's account?
Well, I guess that's one right they do have.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one. As a partnership, do they have the ability to create a floating charge over their business assets?
I think they do. So I think it's just 1, 2, and 3 that it would be different in a partnership.
You know what it means when they say they do a floating charge over the business assets?
Is it like some kind of debt? Like credit?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you have a super value, goes to the bank for a loan, and the collateral is all of it, the groceries in the store.
Because it's based on something that's not solid, right? Like it changes.
Changes, right? So do you think a partnership has the ability to create a floating charge?
I don't know. Because would they be looking at everybody who's involved now?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that become complicated?
Of course, and that is the answer D,
Oh, okay.
the third one. That's the one that one would be most affected by a partnership. Because it's normally in a financial arrangement is done by companies and not partnerships. But that kind of financial arrangement.
So, Ms. Archer, can you repeat the question and then give us the answer again, please?
For all of them?
No, just that same one.
Okay, so three friends own, and they're also directors of a limited company, and they're carrying on a family business. They have in their mind, they want to change it to a partnership, an ordinary partnership. What aspect of the business would be affected if they were to change from a limited company to a partnership? And the options I gave you all were the right to sue in the business name, the right to mortgage in the business, right to mortgage the business assets, the right of the partners to examine the firm's accounts, and the ability to create a floating charge over the business assets. And the answer is the last one.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So John, who runs Treetop Limited, a small manufacturing company, has heard that he may not have to appoint auditors in regard to future accounts, and he's keen to save the audit fees. How would you advise John as to the law? John runs Treetop Limited, a small manufacturing company, and he has heard that he may not have to appoint auditors in regard to future accounts, and he is keen to save the audit fees. How would you advise him? As to the relevant law.
Here's an IBC.
You can start with that as an IBC.
They say he doesn't have to have audited financials, but he is a manufacturing company,
Mm-hmm.
which in my mind, I would think you want to start a business to grow. And if he decides to grow and go public, it might be helpful if he has audited financials
Mm-hmm. He'll have to convert from what?
from on
IBC to
IBC to a
CAC.
company.
Everybody agree? Anybody wants to add? No? Okay, let me see if I have any more questions. Don't fall asleep. Because y'all see y'all had a hard day at work. We go to, let's see, it's chapter 3. All right, I can leave that for the final exam. Go ahead.
So I think that's the most important one to discuss now then,
Why?
because we don't want to see anything strange on our final exam. We want to be prepared.
You mean strange? I
You
don't-
could reword it with the same idea.
Am I not going to see you all on February the 16th and 18th?
Pardon?
Yes.
The 16th.
Yeah, according to schedule.
Yes, then you'll know what's coming on the exam.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. I was just checking because, you just said you're going to leave that for the exam. I wasn't thinking that, we're still going to do a revision that is going to come
Hold
up on before the exam. I just wanted to make sure you didn't literally mean for the exam.
I did literally mean for the exam.
So, Miss Arches, good night,
Yeah.
everyone. Sorry. The review you're saying is on the 18th?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Why? What happened?
My birthday is on the 19th, and I did not plan to attend class that day, man.
Oh, well,
There goes the change of plans.
Well, at least that means we're celebrating after class
Clearly.
to bring in the 19th.
of
Wow.
course. And
All right.
that's a Saturday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we won't be that long because it's just a review.
Okay.
It says what? Units 9 and 10? What's 9 and 10? You have your book Open.
Mhm.
Let me see. What's all this all gosh business?
Company secretarial practices, Unit 9 and Unit 10. Well, same thing. Company secretarial.
Liquidation,
Huh?
liquidation is 10.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we did we'll do the review right after that.
Okay.
Yep, so it's just, there's no need to fair. I'm not gonna leave you. I want the one that I gave you all for homework. I'm gonna go over that, the advantages and disadvantages, because that also is on the exam.
We're
So-
gonna go through it now. I thought you wanted to read our
No,
response.
I'm gonna read it on Saturday, so we could be face to face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I got 2. I mean, I printed 2, I told you.
Excuse
have
me,
Okay.
Rachel.
You got
Yeah.
mine?
I know I joined late. I just got home.
No, I saw
but-
yours. Yeah, I was just about to print yours when the light went off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I still send mine in?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
I have
thank you.
them by Saturday. I
Okay.
looking at what's her name? Siobhan on. Let me see. Well, first I know it too short. Hold on. You sure, Siobhan, you get this right? Siobhan.
Well, according to you, that's a no.
Did I say that? I never said that word no. Did I say no? I said, number one, it's too short.
Yeah,
It's too short. That's number one.
I summarized everything.
I think, no, don't summarize. Remember, I said to you that this is an example of a final exam question. So you got to put a little bit more meat on the bones.
Gotcha.
Okay. Alicia. Alicia, I'm gonna charge you with plagiarism. You know just what I mean, right?
No, and I was supposed to put where I got it from.
I want it from your brain.
My brain wasn't functioning though, Miss Archer. It wasn't functioning. I could do it over now that I have time to start date. That's fine. I'll do it over.
I want it from your brain. Let me look at the others. Hold on. Let me turn on my computer. Just give me 2 seconds. Oh, Lord. Listen, for the final exam, do not give me these small little words. Let me tell you what the style of the exam is. The style of exams is in 2 parts. There's an A and there's a B. A is mandatory. B, you choose. So the mandatory questions are normally worth 15 points. And when you choose from part B, those are worth 10 points. So if I look at what you sent, Siobhan, do you think you can get 15 points for that?
With God by my side, 15 points look feasible.
You good.
But I understand what you mean when you say put a little more meat on it, because I did give you a bullet point form. I was gonna do a paragraph, but I was like, we only naming the benefits and the
I want you to practice how to write for the final exam, because what I
Okay.
students do is when the final exam comes, sometimes they write just like how you wrote. And then they
Right.
say, my God, I failed. They said, but I put it there, but you didn't explain it.
Got you.
Okay, all right, so hold on now, let me see, I have some other ones here. Uh-huh. I have Leah. Yeah, Leah's on. Okay, Leah, let me see. Hmm. Okay. I'll read yours in more detail, Leah.
I hope that means I should memorize that for the exam.
I'll let you know on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, now who's next? Who else did I send one? Who's Ali Will? That's Alicia?
Yes, ma'am, that's me.
Okay. Okay, wait for it to open up. Okay. So you have to rewrite that. I won't talk your business. And Deandra.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're in the same situation as Siobhan.
That's too short.
For 15 points? Yes, my dear. I'm not saying anything is wrong with your bullet points because I haven't read the bullet points. I'm just telling you for 15 points as a final exam question, it's too short.
Okay, ma'am.
I need to see that you actually understand it.
Okay.
Don't write these little short things. Janice. Let me see.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting yours up right now. It's opening up, okay. Why you went on your second page into Lipman?
Because that was a part of my
I see,
disadvantage.
I saw your second part.
So I should only concentrate on that one case then.
Yeah, just the one
Okay.
case.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
Okay.
let me guide you all. The question is really looking at when you talk about advantages and disadvantage of the Solomon Principle. Remember, the Solomon Principle just made it based on the facts of that case. And even if you put Makora in your mind, you have to look at the person was a sole proprietorship. Then they form a company and they said it was a separate legal entity, which means that they no longer own the assets.
Right,
So look at it from that perspective. If
okay,
I have my own company, running my own little candy store, and now I am forming a company, what are the benefits of me going from sole proprietorship to a company? And then what would be the disadvantages of it? So you're doing it in reverse. One is
Okay.
from sole to company, one is company versus sole. What's the difference between the two from a business perspective?
okay,
So
Okay.
your approach at the beginning, and I must give you for your final exam, and the rest can't get jealous. I like how you gave me a whole page on the Solomon principle. Because what you've done is you've established that the principle I'm speaking about is the Solomon principle. And you've set out that principle first, and then you gave me your benefits and the disadvantages.
okay. But I just have to rework the disadvantages.
Yeah, you have to rework
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You never know, if you'll put some effort into it, I may take that and send this back to you all sometime in the schedule before the final and make that a take-home question worth 15 points.
Okay. Ms.
Do
Archer, I
it.
have a question for
I
you.
say do it.
Miss Archer, I think if you send 5 of them home for
No,
15 each.
No.
I love it. I love it, Deandra.
Miss Archer, now come on, Miss Archer. At least think about 3 then.
3, 4.
Miss Archer, this, I ain't gonna lie.
What?
Only because we need a better, we really need a better life for our children and ourselves. Because you can't imagine the struggle right now, Miss Archer.
I know what I'm going to do. I know
Yes.
that's what I'm going to know. I'm still giving you one. I'm still giving you one question, but I know how I'm going to
Only one,
formulate
Miss
that
Archer?
question. Huh?
Only one?
Only one. But listen, the
Okay.
same question you're doing, I asked you all to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make this a 20-point question. And what I'm going to do is, I need you all to redo it, answering the question that I asked you. And then on Saturday, hold on, let me see something. On Saturday,
So on Saturday, you're gonna break it down and discuss it with us, and then we're gonna do it over. That's what you're saying?
no. Focus. Don't try it. I want, okay, let's do this. Do it over. Bring it on Saturday. Right? And I'm going to put another question on the board. You listening?
We are.
Right? That other question would be part and parcel of the one question that I'm going to give you for take home. Everybody understand?
No, and I think I liking this one. Can you go again, please?
You could like this one.
Mhm.
Janice, you
Yes?
see the way you wrote yours?
Uh-huh,
And the piece I told you to take off because that is not a part of the question.
right.
I want to put that part as a separate question
Okay,
to see
Okay.
if you understand that principle.
okay.
And then the take home will be the two together.
Oh, okay.
Now explain it to them because I can't give too much information out.
What I did was, in addition to talking about the Solomon principle and a disadvantage, I talked about piercing the veil. So my understanding is that it'll be a combination of both.
Right. The take-home question,
The take-home question, yes.
worth 20 points. Oh, God, who's breathing hard?
That's me.
Oh. I thought you
Okay,
was-
so Ms. Archer, I really need you to read mine. And then let me see if I on the right track then.
Okay.
Because I feel I felt like I put way too much fluff in that.
Mm,
Like I was very
I-
repetitive.
I don't like fluff.
Me
Ms.
either.
Archer,
Yes.
excuse me. Question for you. So when we answer any of these cases, or we summarize these cases, we need to talk briefly about the case and then talk about the advantages and disadvantages or whatever is going on in the case, correct?
Yeah.
That's how
Yes.
we should answer for test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it did just like when you did part one. Part one was all
Okay.
trial cases, right? So this part right now we're doing is company law, company cases. So
Okay.
when I give you the question on Saturday for piercing the corporate veil, there are cases on piercing the corporate veil. And we went through those, remember? Yes, when you all presented,
Mm.
Jones and Lipman,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Adams and Cape, yes.
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 Well, and I told you all to read that again. I can bring piercing the corporate veil question in many different ways.
You could review Melissa one, please.
Okay, hold on. My computer went to sleep. But what happened? Why it gone dead? I don't understand. Hold on. I have to go to the old faithful, the phone. When did you send yours, Melissa?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday. Chinese Deandra. You sure?
Last night,
I don't see it.
Let me go on my sent 1 second.
Yeah, go see. I don't see it. What happened to my computer here?
So let me get this right. So we redoing the question for tonight? For Saturday?
The one that everybody turned in, yes.
Okay.
You're redoing it. And then on Saturday, I will give you one on piercing the corporate veil. And when I
And
go ahead,
Mhm.
and when I get that
Sorry.
back, you all should be next week, Thursday, anytime between, after I give it to you on Saturday, you can send it to me anytime on Thursday. Once I have them all, then I will send you all the take-home question worth 20 points, which will be a combination of both assignments.
So,
Sent
two
it.
things, Ms. Archer, for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
The assignment now that's due on Saturday is a redo of the same question.
Yes.
We are just expanding more on this in that we're breaking this principle down, and then we are talking about the benefits and the
Mm.
problems
Mhm.
directly as it relates in this case,
Mm-hmm.
in this Solomon case.
Yeah, but in Solomon case, you're not gonna pull out you could pull out the benefits and the problems with it, but remember it's business related.
So we're speaking directly and indirectly to this case then.
Yes. Or I say you can use Makoro,
Or,
the one with the timber.
okay, I have to look for that.
Okay, let me see if I can get you the. If it's here, if not, I could give you the citation for Makoro.
Okay, thanks.
Makoro. And you can find it on the internet, but they're easy to find. Let me give you Makoro.
Hey, Ms. Archer, I sent it.
Okay, hold on. It's Makoro versus Northern Assurance Company Limited.
Okay.
MACURA.
Sorry, MA.
MACAURA. Versus Northern Assurance.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, when did you send it? What's the date?
That was last night. I sent you. Sorry, hold on.
You
Your
sound
email
flu.
address is cmarcher_UWI@yahoo.
Okay, you're in the next one. Okay. I have more than one.
I only have I don't see you.
Hold on, I looking now to see if you're here. What's your email? Give me your email. What's your email?
Melissa_light1.
Come. MELISSA Melissa underscore
Light. 1.
light LIGHT. Oh. I see it. Hold on. Got you. Okay. Okay. All right, so for Saturday, put it in words. Okay?
You mean and how I? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
How you laid it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to put it in words.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't need the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. Put it in words, and of course you have to refer to case law. Again, you could use either Solomon or you could use Makoro. Now, if you all feel like it, I could send you tomorrow the one on lifting the corporate veil. If you feel like it. But I know tomorrow is already Friday, so you won't have sufficient time to do it.
So if we get it tomorrow, you still don't want that till Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
So we could get it tomorrow,
Okay.
please.
Yes, that's not a
Oh,
problem.
hold on. So we turning this in Saturday or Thursday?
Which one?
All of this, the homework.
No. On Saturday, you're going to come with the same one that we're discussing right now, the benefits and problems of the Solomon Principle.
Redone.
Redone. Now, the question would ask if I will send that one on lifting the corporate veil instead of sending it on Saturday. I said I can send it tomorrow, but it would still be due next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's insufficient time for you to sit down properly and put it together.
Yes.
Right. And then on Thursday, when you come out of class or before you come out of class, you will see take home question for final exam.
Okay.
And that'll be a
Uh,
combination of both of them that you did. But you have to answer the question. Don't answer what you feel like. Actually answer the question that is asked. So you may have to pull some of those from those two papers, pull some of that information to answer, and you may have to look for some more, or it may just contain all of it together.
and Thursday we don't have you.
Of course not. You have Miss Dorset.
So Ms. Dorset is gonna give us the question,
No, I'm gonna email it to you.
or you're gonna email it? Okay. Oh, my second point was, I hear you saying 20 points, right? Did
Uh-huh.
you mean 30 points? Because seeing that it's 2 parts, I think it should be like 15 each.
No, you're not swinging
I
it.
thought, but I thought you said it was 15 points per question, no?
It's 15 points in the exam room. This is take home, and so I'm gonna give it to you for 20 points.
So that means 10 for each part?
It's gonna be it's gonna be one question. One question, and it's 20
Oh,
points. And if you do it well, think about it. In the exam, if you had both questions in the exam separately, 15 points each. On average, how much you would have gotten? Being truthful, what do you think?
15 points each, and maybe 10 out of 15.
Okay, exactly. No, 10. How you get to 15? In the exam? No,
No, I say 10 out of 15.
15. Okay. So you would have lost 10 points, correct?
The pass.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know for sure. We're just
No,
assuming
that's
right
on
now.
average. Yeah, I mean, not just you. Not you, but I mean on average, the class. So I'm giving you an opportunity to get anywhere from 16 to 20 out of 20.
Okay.
But it's all up to you. You see what I mean? So right off the bat, when you go in and you sit in that exam, when you start to stress yourself out, you know that you've already put in your take-home question. And you know that you got.
And we all know what stress does to everyone, Miss Archer. So I'm hoping that time as we see you on unit 9, you probably would have already decided to give us a second take-home question for another 20 points. And now we don't have to stress ourselves out as much for the exam.
Don't make me laugh.
Just think about it. I'm speaking on behalf of the class. Thank you.
Oh, I see. Oh, Lord. What is this? This is not difficult.
Okay.
It's not going. And then the short answer ones for 10 points each, they're not difficult. They're not. Well, let's see how it goes.
So, Ms. Archer,
Mm-hmm.
is this going to be like how in stage 1 we had the 4 mandatory questions and then the 6 to choose from? Like this already is 2 questions in one, right? This 20.1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the same 4 mandatory and all this other thing again?
Not necessarily, because I'm giving you a take home, so I'm gonna change it a little bit. I bet just leave all the rest for you to choose. I may take this one take home as your one mandatory, and then all the rest you choose. You understand?
Say less, say less.
You see what I mean? The
Yeah.
one take home, will be your mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
So in the exam, you'll see part A, one mandatory question. It'll be the
Right.
same question that I sent for you to do at home.
Okay.
And then all the rest will be where you choose. But you just have to write more.
And then you still will give us those questions.
Yeah, I'll tell you what those questions are on.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
We sound happy now?
Not necessarily, but we're getting there. Just
Oh,
be mindful that we're very busy ladies, and we really can't take much on, Ms. Archer. And you understand what we're dealing with at this time.
I do understand.
Yeah, so just bear with us, please.
Okay.
Thank you. You're so kind. That's why we love you.
Yeah, so yeah.
So
I think giving you the 20 points, and if you take your time and write your answers well, you already have 20 points. You know what the passing mark is. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just one more time for me for the slow.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the first portion, what we have right now, we're redoing the Solomon principle, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
So just like how I started where I gave the principle at the beginning. And then in form, instead of bullet points, we would be doing the benefits and the disadvantages of the Solomon principle.
Uh-huh.
And so what we're looking for in that is for us to use what it is, law lingo or law
Not law lingo, business terms.
Business.
Y'all are not lawyers, so I'm not looking for no law.
Okay. So we
use
have
this
the
from
statement cases.
business perspective.
So we know statement cases like how we had to for the first portion.
No, you don't have to. The only cases you're going to use, like I said, is either Solomon or Makora. That's it.
Okay. And so we'll be using, when you say you want us to use business terms, we use in the words like corporation and incorporate entity and
limited liability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else are you looking for?
What else? That's just the first one. The next one will be on Pearson Corporate Veil.
Okay then. Just want to be sure.
Yeah, and then you have the cases for Pearson the Corporate Veil.
And we could use any one of them.
Depends on how I word the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it depends on how I word it, then you'll know which case you want to use.
Okay.
And then the one that would be for part A, your mandatory take-home question, I'm going to merge the two together.
So I just want to ask another question.
Go
What
ahead.
is the things that you're looking for? Because I do notice that you look for particular phrases or particular terms, even though we may be saying it in like layman's term in a sense, you're looking for particular words. So is there anything that you're particularly looking for us to discuss in our answers?
The Solomon case for this one.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, in like, you want us to do like what comparisons? You want us to do, because I mean, and I thought I really was in depth with my answer, is why I'm saying that.
Oh. You gonna do yours over or not?
Yeah, I could do it over. I mean, I could add to it. I mean, I think I'm the only one that's not in trust. So my view may be a little bit different, I guess, from others. And it's going to take a little bit more out of me to really focus and pay attention to what everyone's saying in terms of what y'all doing already. So I have to really, that's why I'm asking if you're looking for anything in particular.
No, because don't forget now, the first part was on trust itself. This part here is just on company law, because underneath the trust, there are companies. So really, this part here is just talking about a company. What is it? What is it used for? What are the constituents of it? The memo of the arts, certificate of incorporation. But really, the real feature of the company itself in relation to trust law is that it is a separate legal entity. And like I say, in a trust structure, it is used for holding investments. Some companies are incorporated because they are business entities. So I don't expect you to go that deep. Like if you were doing pure company law course, like
Mhm.
normally you have, like what's going on right now, you would have many more cases to know. It'll be similar to trust law.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is from a business perspective, in that a company is a part of a trust structure. So the
Okay.
only thing you're going through is, how do you incorporate one? What does it mean to be a company versus other forms of business, sole proprietorship and partnership? What are the advantages of incorporating a company? Why is it done? And what other feature is there about a company that gives it this advantage? That's it. And then they'll talk about the documents that need to be kept at the registered office by the registered agent. And then when you look at it from another perspective, besides the record keeping, remember what I just said, one of the steps in incorporating a company is you have to do your due diligence on who are the beneficial owners and who are the directors and officers. Now, from a trustee perspective, when you get down to units 7 and 8, you're going to look at how the trustees and the directors of the companies look at managing the risk. That's the exposure of the company based on the nature of its business. So we're looking at this from a business perspective. So don't get it all try to make it too complicated. I'm looking for business answers. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when we get the part 2, then we're gonna go back to trust. Yeah. But for 20 points for what we're going to do as a take home, you can't give it to me in this format because these are going to be cross-marked. Remember, the final exams are always cross-marked by another lecturer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it has to be written like an exam question. So don't stress. Just put this into words.
Okay.
And remove the second one, which you have in the second little cute thing.
The second one?
Yeah, the second one. You have 1, 2, 3, correct? Take out the second one. You have 3 subheadings.
I do? No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You don't have 3?
Uh-uh.
I thought you had 3.
I have 2 paragraphs just explaining the principle, what the principle is, and then I went down and I did benefits, and then I did problems with the principle.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, let me see something. You sent me 2, you know.
Oh, that's homework 1, and a couple days ago, and then yesterday I did homework 2.
Okay.
So the homework 1 was benefits of the different companies, benefits and disadvantages of the different types of companies.
I saw. Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, but see, just like all the other ones, where you just put it in just bullet points.
Uh-huh.
Like that'll do if we were having a discussion. But as this is going to be a take-home question, you need to expand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So you have the Solomon principle in
Mhm.
front. Now you need to take the benefits and your problems and apply them to Solomon.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll look at those on Saturday and we'll see how you're going, and then I'll give you all the other one. No, I'll send the other one tomorrow night. You want it tomorrow night, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. There's no need to be afraid. Trust me, y'all have this. Y'all have this. Who's missing tonight? No, Lavette is here. Lavette, what happened to yours?
As I was telling you, I didn't get to do mine. Sorry.
Okay, so you'll bring yours on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And company management, there's always a question on company management on the final exam. Always. So just make sure you get a read of that before Saturday. Okay? So y'all have a good time to sit down and rewrite this. You never know, I may decide to write this question tonight.
Miss Archer, hold on 1 second, please. You say we gotta read something for Saturday too?
Yes, you have another chapter?
Saturday, 48 hours, you know.
Chapter 4, please.
Smoke.
Yes. Chapter 4.
Okay.
It ain't that bad. Come on. Look here, I just gave you all a 20-point take-home question, a giveaway.
Okay, we got it.
A whole 20 points. That's a lot. How lenient I am.
Okay, we got this for Saturday.
I know y'all have this for Saturday, and you're ready for Saturday's class. Yes. And I'll
Okay.
drill you all some more to make sure. All right, let me think about what I'm going to write for this second part now. And I'll go from there. All right? Okay, so have a good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, you too.
And make
Bye.
sure you all are on time. Because I have a
No,
class at 12:30, don't forget.
No, we always try our best.
Class
Okay,
start at
right.
9 or 9:30.
9:30.
We said
Okay.
9:30 because if I said 9, y'all will come 9:30. Now I say 9:30, y'all decide y'all will come at 10. Please be there at 9:30.
Oh, they still offering it through Zoom on Saturday?
No, you're supposed to be face to face. Who wants Zoom again? And then the Zoom link drop. Can't hear.
Miss,
What?
well,
listen.
I to work on Saturday until
Yeah, you got
February.
different. You
Right.
got your exceptional approval
Yes, thank you.
because you work on Saturday. Now the rest don't work on Saturday.
I do as well sometimes.
Well, when you do work,
I'm
you
a
need to call
parent.
Miss Dean. Yeah, when you do work, you need to call Miss Dean and tell her you're at work. You have to work.
So Alicia could be on Zoom? Because
Yes,
I can
ma'am.
join.
Yes.
I can
She said
join
at
the same link.
at the very beginning, she
Mhm.
said that she did not come on Saturday because she works.
Me too. You forget that was me was telling you that?
Yes, but you need to tell Miss Dean. Did I not say you need to call Miss
No.
Dean or send her a note and let her know?
Honestly, just send Miss Dane email, like you could send it to her this evening or tomorrow, and just
Mhm.
explain the case. Don't just say I don't want to come in on Saturdays. Now you gotta explain the case.
Explain it, and then she'll go from there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same as the university, the Bahamas. They really trying to get students to come face to face because they
Mhm.
say they find like a lot of students are not paying attention. I mean, you all are more mature than them. But
Mhm.
that's the problem that they were having. They were saying that the students were not focused. And when it was time to take exams, they had real difficulty.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I guess I can.
yeah, at least it was good that we have Thursday by Zoom rather than
Right.
having both. Yeah, rather
Okay.
than having both
Mm-hmm.
classrooms. So if you come on time, we won't be there as late as we were last week.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All
Thank
right.
you, Ms.
Good
Archer.
night.
Okay, so have a good night. Read the chapter before if you have a chance, and work on your question, and then I will work on the next other half of what to take home.
Okay, good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.